Welcome to Lisa's Art Room. Today we're going to be finishing up our Wild and Muted junk journal. Y'all come in and say hi. We are live on Facebook if you see the little red button at the top left. If not, your kitchen replay either here or on YouTube. I'm going to be sewing in the signatures tonight to finish this up. And I may or may not do the flip through. I might do that separate, but that's the plan. So y'all guys come in and let me know you're here. And I'm going to get a sound check. Sorry, I'm a little out of it. I fell asleep. I laid down for just a minute. I was like, I'll just rest my eyes. And nope. Good thing I set an alarm. I was out. Find this live. It's not showing. Come on. Okay. It's still not showing. It says I'm live. Where are you? There you are. Okay. Let's see. We got anybody on yet? Not yet. Oh, somebody popped on. Let me see if I can hear the sound. Seems okay. Alright, so like I said, we're just going to be sewing in the signatures. A lot of you have seen me do it 1,000 times, but I'm going to do it for those who want to watch. And I've already marked off the pages. I'll talk about that as I open it up and get the camera turned around. But it should go relatively fast. I'm getting a little faster at it over the years. Alright, so let's see. I was waiting to see if I was going to get a few more people on, but maybe not. A lot of people just don't really watch this one, but anyway, let's go ahead. I know the sound's fine. We're just going to flip the camera up top and I'll get started on this one. Alright, 1 second. Alright, so for sewing in the signature, you need to have either a template for your signatures, which I have one that I've been using for a while now, and I'll talk about how you make that. And then I go through and I take all the little ephemera out because it's just easier without all that in, so I'll show you that. And something soft to poke holes in, some sort of thread. I use wax thread, a needle with an eye big enough for your thread and not so big that it opens your hole up too much. So you want it to be somewhat straight. You know, you don't want it to like get a whole lot bigger on the end. And an awl is handy. And if you don't have an awl, you can use just a regular pokey tool of some sort. Handy. I usually use a combination of these and these. What else? I think that's it. Alright, so take this off because we don't need this in our way. Do it. Oh my goodness. I don't have the grip. It's still relatively new, so it's kind of tricky. Oh my goodness, I just don't have the grip. Hold on, I'm gonna cheat. My grip in my hands has gotten so much worse over the years. If I can get this thing to squeeze. Alright, what is up there? definitely not opened. There. I don't know why they're so difficult. You don't have to worry about them falling off, that's for sure. They are strong. All right, now I've made a mess. Let's see if I can keep these in order. So I went through, took out all the ephemera, and when I do that, all I do is I go through each signature and I put a little sticky note on each one with a letter or a number if I run out of letters. And then I just pile them up so that they are in order for putting back in easily. So I did that off camera so y'all didn't have to watch me do that because it can be kind of tedious. And then we're left with the signatures without all the stuff in them. You know, they still have stuff, but not as much. And there's nothing loose that's going to fall out while you're trying to, you know, turn it and maneuver it and all that, which, you know, that can be a pain if stuff's falling out. Then, so I have this template. Like I said, I have them made because I just keep them. So I've got like a whole stash of them here. Some of them I've changed over the time. This one just tells me how to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, which is what we're going to do because for whatever reason, I never remember. So it just tells me where to go in and out and all that. And then, like, you know, I keep the ones I have. Some are for 2-inch spines, 1-inch spines, 1.5-inch spines. You know, some are for different heights. But this is my most commonly used one. It's Amazon packaging one. And it's for a 2-inch spine. It technically says like 1 7/8 to 2 inches. I usually just find the middle. And then it's got 5 holes. And you mark the top. So I just do it on, this is just some watercolor paper because it's nice and strong. It'll last me for a while. But all you do is, the thing I do usually first is I take my signatures and I kind of look at where they're hitting so I can get an idea of how much spacing I want for this thing. And I usually just get a loose guesstimate about how far apart they are to fit in there kind of naturally. And so that's what this says. It seems to almost always be about that much, just because I probably do them very much the same every time. And then you want to mark the top, because what happens is when you put your holes in, sometimes the distance between here and here is a little different than between here and here. And it's not much, or, you know, one hole in the middle might be slightly off a little bit. So if you keep it the same way every time, you don't have to worry about your holes not matching up. So that's why you mark the top. And then just space out your holes. And if you want to know what these are, I can tell you. I think it's like a 1/2 inch, but let's see. It is a little more. It is 5/8 of an inch apart on mine. And then my distance to each one is approximately, let's see, that one's 1 3/8. That one's about 1.5. So yeah, they're not quite the same. Somewhere around 1 3/8 to 1.5 is fine to get all 5 of them on there. And you know how you do it, it really isn't important where the holes are exactly, as long as it kind of hits all the things that you're putting in there. You know, if you're putting small things, you want to have at least 2 of the holes hit, so that it doesn't wiggle. So things like that, but this seems to work for me. Then you want to find your center, which we did when we were doing the tassel. So I have these marked with my lines for the spine. So I've got it marked at the 6-inch mark. And then what I usually do is I just line this up as close to center as I can for my template, and then just clip it so it stays in place. And as long as I do it the same every time, it's not going to really make a whole lot of difference. But so that should be fine. I don't think I need to clip that one too. Debating if it was going to wiggle too much. I'll clip it just to be safe. So, and then you want to put it on something squishy to poke your holes. And this is just something from a box I got at some point. I don't remember when. Seems to work well. And then you just take your awl, and you can kind of just make sure it feels like it's closing and it's in the middle if you want to just kind of look at it and, you know, just make sure it looks right. It looks right to me, so it should be fine. My distance is good between everything, and my center marks are where they're supposed to be. I'm going to do both of these down here too, just to keep from wiggling. All right, and then you just poke them. So I try not to go too deep on this one. This one gets larger as it goes up. Some of them don't do that so much. Some do it a lot more than others. So just decide where a good, you know, distance is for you. For mine, it's usually about here, which is about 1 inch up. So just poke it in there. I usually just kind of hold my finger there so I know about where to go. My hand is hurting today, again. And you may or may not need to do this from both sides, depending on how many layers you have, if you have laces, you know, what you have on it. Sometimes the hole is hard to see. Sometimes I'll mark it with just a little bit of chalk pencil so I can see it better. All these things can be helpful. Okay, and then once you do that, you can kind of just flip it and make sure that you can see the holes. Yeah, they're not too bad, but I can tell I'm going to have a little bit of an issue where the crochet is. So here I can see them, you know, just fine. Down here I can see them just fine, but through here I can't really see them. So we're going to try and see if I can find them so I can mark them. So I'm going to go ahead and make these just a little bit bigger. I could probably take, well, I'm going to leave that in. So I'm just going to flip this over, see where it's heading, because this is, and sometimes this is why sometimes I don't put lace, because it can be a little challenging when you are trying to sew in your signatures. So now this chalk pencil will come off with either eraser or water. So I'm not real worried about that, but I am going to mark these because it is so hard to see. This is a step that you don't typically have to do, except when you have something like, you know, a lace like this. It's just almost impossible to see. And this will hopefully help me when I am sewing it in to find the holes. That's the wrong pencil. I grabbed the pencil instead of the chalk pencil. Really need a chalk pencil. It works much better. than just a regular pencil. And I'm using my black one because I don't think my white one would show up. I still can't see this perfectly, but it will get me in the general area to try to find the hole. I can't remember which one I did. I think I need this one. This might be a little bit of a battle tonight. We shall see how bad it is getting through that. Hey, Lori. All right, we'll just open these up just a little bit more. Make sure they stay. Now let's see if I can find these. Sometimes you have to wiggle it around so you can feel it. I'm just going to attempt to open them just a little bit more. There it is. I'm just kind of fishing for it. It'll drop in when you hit it. Where are you? There you are. All right. So that should be safe to take off now. And we have all of our holes. They're easy to see on the inside. If you can see that. I'm not zooming in because I'm going to be moving all over the place and I don't want to be out of camera. All right, and then you keep this for the center hole on your signatures. Now, I have these in the order I want them, and I like to start with the back one. Hey, Deborah. So what you do is you open it up to the center page. And just make sure everything is where you want it. So flip through, make sure there's nothing that is small that has moved, like this one. Decide if you want it, right in the middle, if you want it at the top, if you want it at the bottom. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of a personal thing. I'm just going to put it right in the middle. And then if there's anything else, that's not going to be in the way. Nothing there. Same one. So that's it. All right, so then just seat it really, really well. So what you want to do is find the middle, and you just want to make sure it's seated into the spine. So I'm just kind of pushing it nice and firmly. And then I'm going to take my clips like this, and I'm going to put those on first while it's nice and seated. I think I usually put them a little further out. Yeah. It's been a while. So put them further out. All right, so then now at this point it won't open up because what happens is when it opens, see how they separate? So you have to kind of keep it folded. Find your little guide and then just find the middle. I've got some lines here that usually line up to one of the sizes. So just to try to match it, make sure the top is on the top and that you are about even. Okay, and then seat that in there, and then you can put the clips on it. Okay, so just move them. This is just the way I find works easiest for me. And then once you've got that on there, that guarantees that the holes are going to line up. If I was doing it flat, they wouldn't line up because, like I said, it moves when it opens up. So you have to do it slightly closed at like a 45-degree angle. I wouldn't go more than that. And then you can use the pokey thing, the soft thing, or not. Sometimes you don't really need it. But you're going to poke your holes in here. You can start wherever you want. And you want to make sure that it's at a 45-degree angle or so. They make cradles for this. If you want to invest in one, if you're doing a lot of these and you find it's easier. I have like a homemade one, but honestly I never use it. I can show you for anyone new. Let's see if I can find it. I think I know where it is. Hold on. Everything's kind of in its place. Is this all the parts? I don't remember. I think this is all the parts. Maybe. Maybe not. No, there's something else that goes to it. That's part of it. Oh, I see. So this is my homemade one. It's bulky and it doesn't, it works fine. It's just bulky. But they make some that are just a piece of wood, and they make some that will break down. But the idea is you just want something that cradles like this, and it has an opening for your holes. Okay, I've just got a piece of gaff tape there, and then you just place it on, and you place it on like this, and then when you poke your holes, where my owl go? When you poke your holes, it kind of holds it in place for you. Okay, and you can do it like that. On Amazon and other places. Or you can attempt to make your own. But honestly, I don't find it necessary. When I first started, I used it because I for whatever reason, I thought it was easier. But honestly, I just don't think it's any easier. So I usually just do it like this and just make sure that I've got it slightly folded and push it through. It's one of those things where, when you first start, you use all the little fancy gadgets, and then, I don't know, I think as you go, you kind of just find you don't really need them. So poke your holes, and then what I like to do at this point is apply the other clips. These just get in my way too much. So I put these on. Before I take it off the other thing, so it doesn't move. Okay, and then you can lay this flat. It doesn't really matter if they're further out or in, really. As long as they're holding it in place. Take this off. You don't want to sew through it. You'll be making a new one if you do. Okay. Make sure that you're the right direction. And get your thread threaded. I use 3 lengths of my journal. So 1, 2, 3, and just a little bit more. Don't usually need all that, but I'd rather have too much than too little. And get your needle. leave enough that you won't pull it through. And almost always start with the center hole on pretty much whether you're doing a 3-hole pamphlet or a 5-hole, it doesn't really matter. And then I usually pull the tail until it stops about here, and I like to secure my tail that way I don't accidentally pull it through. It's an extra step that isn't absolutely necessary, but I don't know, I do it. So you go through first your signature, and then you find, now this is the back one, because like I said, I start from the back to the front for what, it's just the way I do it. This is true, Deborah, our confidence does increase as we go on, so that's definitely true. So I go from back to front. Some people like to go the other way. Some people don't really care. This is just how I do it. And go through there. Now, I don't make mine tight. Some people do. I can't work with it tight. I just tighten it up at the end. So here's where you need to look at your guide or just remember how to do it. Like I said, for me, I always have to kind of look at my guide. So in through here and then out through, why do I have tape on there? I put it right over the, I don't know what that's from. Probably from when I was doing the pages in there. Don't need any cat hairs. So you go in a nutshell, it's in, out, technically the other way, in, out, I think this one is in, and then you skip, and then out, and then in, I don't know, something like that, but you end up here. That's why I use the guide. If you need a picture of the guide, let me know. I'll give you a picture. Of course, it probably only makes sense to me. But so I'm going to the next hole down, if I can find it. It's one of the challenging holes. So, all right, so in through there. But I leave, I guess, about an inch, inch and a half. Through there. And then through here. It's always going to hang up on something. Always is. And through this other hole. Okay. And then we're going to come back through this one. So here's where it gets challenging. You got to move the thread in the direction where you won't split it. Okay, so I usually hold it with my finger on the inside and then try to find the hole first. So I'm going to try to get just behind it. So I'm not, you don't want to go through your thread. If you go through your thread, it won't tighten. Okay, so I went to there, and the same thing here. Just kind of just make sure that you're not hitting the thread. It needs to be kind of opened about the same as it was when you poked the hole. So it's not lining up. It's probably that it's just not opened the same. And if you really are fighting with it, like I am right now, it's just not hitting. You can kind of just go through the hole again with your awl and see what the problem is. Sometimes just poking it through again, that's all you need. It's easier just to do that than to fight with it for an hour. Now here's where you skip. So once you've done that, then you skip the middle one and you come up to the next one. Okay. So up to there. And through here. And up the top. and then back through this hole. And you can see it's loose. That's fine. I don't mind it loose. Just keep your thread pushed one direction or the other, whatever direction the thread isn't on. If that makes sense. So you just don't want to split your thread. I've done it a few times. And if you do, just pull it back out so that it's not split. So this one should be the other direction. So push it this way just a little bit. Let's see if I can get through the hole. Is it going? Yeah. Okay. And then back through the middle. Okay. For whatever reason, the last one always seems to be the most difficult, but we'll see. All right, we're good. We're not split. And then back through the middle. Now here, you might want to take this off just so you can see it better. I usually just pull it off at this point so I can pull the thread one direction or the other out of my way. And then through there. Okay. Yep, that's good. All right, so once you know you're good, then you can tighten. And you'll kind of get the hang of tightening after a while, but sometimes it takes just figuring it out, and you might have to just play with it. I'm upside down because I'm upside down, but I'm not upside down. It just looks like I'm upside down. So I usually just kind of, you can use your awl or something, and just kind of get through there and pull it tight, and then figure out which one moves it. That's kind of the trick, is you have to kind of figure out which thread pulls the thread. Sometimes that can be a challenge, but that's how I do it. And if there's any slack, just kind of keep pulling it until you figure out where the slack is coming from. No, this needs to come. Which one's it pulling? No, it's not pulling the right one. I wanted to pull this middle one. I can't figure out which one is it. Oh, that's that one. That's that one. Let me get this thread on each side because it's fighting me. I think. Oh, that's that one. And that's that one. Alright, just keep doing it until it's tight. It has to be snug. If it's not snug, it just doesn't work. So just keep working it a little bit at a time and make sure that it is relatively snug. And when you put your signature pages in here, it will tighten this up just a little bit. So if you just are really fighting with it and can't get it super tight, just don't worry about it, because chances are it will tighten up at the end. Okay, so that's good and tight. Once you got it to the tightness that you want, then you just want to make sure that you are on each side of this middle one. This, I consider this the bridge and this the river, and just go under it and then tie a knot. Okay, and you can do a square knot. Now I have a lot of thread left. I like to have enough thread that I can pull it down and leave just a little bit dangling. That's because some people like having charms on them, and it gives whoever buys it that option. And sometimes I put charms on it, but I haven't been doing that lately. But anyway, so I just tie a knot and leave it dangle like that. So there's our first one. It's in there nice and snug. and pull off your clips. You've only done the 3-hole. It is a little complicated, but I tell you what, when it holds it so much better. And if you just take a picture of this, you can just screenshot it. It makes it easier, okay? And, you know, even I forget, but just, I look at it a couple times and I'm like, okay, now I remember. But I don't know, I just think it really holds it better than the 3 does. All right, so there's one. And then we go to the next one. Okay, now I'm working from the back, so I want this one. And same steps. I want to just kind of make sure there's nothing in here that needs to be moved. I think there's an envelope. I'm pretty good with that position. Let's move it down just a fraction. There. I'm going to take that out because I don't want it to, I don't know what the letters are. Let me see if I can tell. I'm going to put it with N so that hopefully I can find it. So I'm just going to stick it here next to N and hopefully I'll figure out where it goes. There. I missed one. I just don't want it slipping out and getting in my way. Okay. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. All right. So that's fine. Find the center. I'm going to scooch this over a little bit and just make sure this is nice and snug. To get it snug, clips on. But I use these first because honestly at this point they're easier to get in there than the other clips. Okay, it's bulging because of that zipper. All right, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. So put this in, make sure I'm on the top, line up my lines, squish it in nice and tight, move that down. Squish it in nice and tight. Okay. And we're going to poke our holes. And I don't need that. I was going to grab my thing, but I don't need it. Yeah, I would suggest trying the 5. I really have enjoyed doing it. I started out with the 3 too, as most of you know, and honestly, a lot of times I felt like it really just wasn't as secure as I wanted, especially if it's a journal and you're going to be keeping it for a long time. You're going to be opening and closing it all the time, you know, because you are an avid journaler. Yeah, you want it to be nice and tight. All right, so there's that. Put my clips on so that I can move those. All right, take off the middle piece. Needle. And in through the middle. Secure my little tail. Find your clip. Lost it. Where'd it go? Clip. There you are. Remember to flip those down or they will get in your way. All right, there's one. Scrap journal, make sure we are the right direction. Pockets there, so I know that's the right way. This is upright. And something else I do that I don't really talk about, I dull the end of my needle. When you're working with a really sharp needle, see how this is like, it's kind of dull? When you're working with a really sharp needle, you're a lot more likely to split either the material here or the thread. But when it's dull, it's not so pokey, so it just doesn't seem to do it as bad. So that's just kind of a little tip. Okay, so in through there. And then let's see if we can find this hole. Approximately there. Okay. That one. And that one. Here. Yeah, it's basically a zigzag. The only part that's not a zigzag is that once you get to here and you do the skip. But other than that, it's pretty much just a zigzag. Alright, so here's where we got to kind of hold the thread aside a little bit. Make sure I'm above it. I got this crochet right in my way. Right there. And that one goes that way. I have to look at the inside to see which way the thread's going. Come on. There we go. All right, skip that one. Getting a little bit wide on my threads there. It's all right. It's not a huge deal. It just means I have to tighten more. As long as you have, it's not a huge deal if you have them that loose, as long as you have enough thread. Otherwise, you might get to the end and find you don't have enough thread for the last hole. So that's really the only issue that could happen. Where is it? I can't see this one. I think it's there. Yeah. And here. And then back through here. And let's see which way that's going. It's going this way. And it keeps getting in my way. Let's see, this one. We're going to make it go this way. I'm running out of thread because I have so much gap. But luckily I had plenty. Pull that off. Just pull it off because it makes it easier to get that last one in there. All right, make sure that you are on opposite sides of that. Pull your needle off and start tightening. All right, let's see. We will start with outside. Just make sure you pull them equally or you'll end up with one being longer than the other, which I have done. be tight. What is... I can't figure out what pulls it. No, not that. Not that. This. Okay. I don't know why it's always a challenge for me to figure out what pulls what, but it always is. Alright, that feels tight. Sure. Looks good. Give it a tight little square knot. And let's see, which way are we? This way. And I'm just gonna pull that down, chop off the excess. You can keep these. Sometimes they work for ties for different things. I try not to waste them. All right, pull that off. Pull that off. I might do the flip through tonight. I don't know. It's going pretty fast, so I might just go ahead and do it tonight so I don't have to do another live for it. Alright, last one. Let's see what we've got. Okay. Like that position, I think, just right in the middle there. Should be fine. Is there any other envelopes? I don't think there are. Cool. Alright, that's good. Alright, find the middle. Nice and snug. Okay. And top. Need like 6 hands. All right, make sure it's snug. I can't figure out how to hold it. All right, we're just gonna try to use our thumb. All right, there. And put these on. All right, poker holes. Just make sure your fingers out of the way. Don't stab yourself because these are sharp. That one will hurt you. Alrighty. And over here, make sure that we're the right direction. Make sure we are the right direction on this. Some thread. 1, 2, Did you lose your needle? There it is. Okay. Center. All the way to here. Secure our tail. I flip mine around a lot. Whatever makes it the most comfortable to work with. That's what I would suggest. Can't have a hole. I feel like I didn't get that one deep. Is it going through? Nope. There it is. Okay. Okay, and through this one. Don't sew everything in there. It's like I have to keep moving those because I'll sew them in the spine if I'm not careful. They do get in the way. Sometimes I'll clip them, but I didn't. Which way? This way. Might need to make this one bigger. And it was giving me a hard time going in the first time, so probably didn't go very deep on it when I did it. Can't hit the hole today. Nope. There it is. Okay. Skip. And top. I'm running out of thread. Okay, and this one is this side. Come on. There we go. Which one is that? What's this side? I'm hoping this one's not an issue. I'm on the other side of the piece of crochet there. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but we'll find out when I go to tighten. If it is, I'll have to unthread it. It's best if you go through the same with both threads. Phew, barely had enough that time. All right, let's see if we can tighten it. See, that one's a little funny. I feel like I'm on the opposite side as I need to be, but I'm hoping it'll tighten. All right, is that middle tight? Middle looks tight. Okay, it's tightening fine. Which one is that? It's not that one. There it is. I found it. Snug, snug. Tight, tight. Sure looks tight. All right, we are good. And we are on both sides of that. Square knot. And turn it around. We can pull the clips off now. And there we go. All sewed in. Let's just pull this one tight, cut off the excess. And we have that. Okay. I didn't do lace on this one. I usually leave this little extra in case I do want to do lace, but I decided not to. I just didn't think it was going to look good on this one for some reason. Alright, so there's that. And then we just got to put everything back where it goes. So, grab a little stack. Let's see. And it should be in order. Grab yourself some tweezers because we don't have to fight with these. I keep these and reuse them each time, so I just make a pile. Usually I try to turn them upside down so that they're the right way. Just go through, put everything back where it goes. Sticking my finger. And if there's two, I try to stick them both together. But usually I can kind of figure out that there was two, but sometimes I can't. So this one has one in this pocket. It shows through, and then it has just this piece of paper behind. It's like a belly band. Okay. And then this one, I didn't take this one out, I don't think. It's still in there. I wasn't worried about it moving anywhere. Which way does that go? There, 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 there. And I'm missing something. What did I miss? Oh, there it is. D. All right, D. And D. Goes back in there. E. There. Here. I left this one in because it was pretty snug. realistically, you get a flip through when I'm putting everything back together, but I'll do one anyway. I has 2. Which way did I do them? I think I did them this way. Okay. J. That one out? I did. This has 3. So it's got 2 little ones here. Actually, I think I had that one there so you can see the kitty cat. Okay, and then this one goes in the middle. It says just this one. There. And then L. Hey Angela. We are just putting everything back, and then I'm going to do a quick flip through when I'm done. These are just little flips. Nothing there. This has got a pocket with something in it, but I'm not going to open it. And we are here. I think this was next to in, right? I think it was this one. This has a couple. I think it was these 2. Oh. I keep going up. Trying to keep it in screen, guys. Is that right? No, this goes here. That goes there. This one goes here. Cards. The stickies are not, they're probably starting to wear out a little bit. I've been using them for a while. I think I've used them through at least 2 or 3 journals. This is just a page. Almost through. We're into the last signature now. I didn't take this one out, I don't think. Nope, it's still there. I wasn't worried about it moving, so I left it. Yeah. This is why I did it first, why I took all the stuff out, because it does take a while to do all that. So let's help tonight go a little bit faster by not making you all watch me do that. Oh, now we're in the last signature. I thought we were already there. Started using numbers because I ran out of letters. You know it's a big journal when you run out of letters. This one's a double one too. So this in the back and this in this little pocket. So if anyone is interested in purchasing this, it is, tell you what, it is on sale through the weekend. So till Monday for $150 plus shipping. Tax if you're in Georgia, because that's my nexus. And then after that, it will go up to the normal price of $165. So if you want to get it on sale, I'm going to say that's my tax sale, as it'll help me pay my taxes. It's on sale till then. So that's $15 off the normal price. And that's a steal for this. This is a big journal. It's got a lot of stuff in it. A lot of work went into it. It was, what did I say, 21 lives for this one. 2 hours each. Okay, 6. Just let me know in a PM, and it's first come, first serve. So whoever gets a message to me first. And then I will put it on my website after that. Must have 2 in that one. All right, there we go. Figure out how to close that up. Okay, now we'll do a flip through real quick. So that's done. Just go ahead and get the dangle back on there. I don't know how many pages. I should have been counting as I went. So I can do this one hand without using pliers. All right. So let's just go ahead and count them and see how many pages it is. How many pages do you think this is? I'll bet it's at least 100. Maybe more. All right, so it's 2 each one because it's front and back. It's like a book. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 62, 4, 6, 8, 72, 4, 6, 8, 82, 4, 6, 8, 92, 4, 6, 8, 100, 2, 4, 6, 8, 108 pages. That's a lot. All right, so let's see, where's a sticky note? You got one handy? I'm gonna write it down so I have to count them again when I forget. Do you have a Sharpie here? All right, so wild and muted, 168 pages. What did I say, 106 or 108? I think I said 8. No, I forgot. Oh well, we'll guess. 108 pages. 3 signatures. Wow. Charm. Tassel. I think that's it. It is on sale through Sunday. So until Monday. Monday goes back. And then after that, so on sale for, let's put the price up here, $150. And then after $165. All right. I'll have to count it again because I don't remember. You guys probably know. It was either 6 or 8 and I don't remember. Which is probably why I wrote 6, 8. Anyway, so we got our pretty little charm tassel that is removable in case it gets in your way. Lots of little goodies on there. 108, thank you. And then lots of little pretty embellishments on the front. Pockets on each side. You know what I didn't do? I didn't do a writing board. Ooh, I always do a writing board. I'm going to do a writing board. I'm not going to do a writing board today because it takes too long. But I'll do one. So it will have a writing board. So I'll just have to do it off camera. Y'all have seen me do them. I will pick a picture and make a writing board. Okay? So it will have a writing board, which will go in one of these pockets, which made me think about it. I usually put either the writing board in here or here. And I was like, oh, where is it? I don't have it. I forgot it. So I will make one. Anyway, so pocket, lots of pockets. This one flips open to write on. Little tuck. It's got decoration there. You can journal on it. And pretty little owl. Lots of little pockets. This one is a, fold out envelope. It's got a magnet. It's a pretty little deer in a little pocket. That one's snug. It fits, it's just snug. You gotta kind of make sure it's absolutely straight. Okay. These are just plain on the back. Belly band. Journaling spaces and doily pockets. Could write on that with a gel pen. Just embellishment. So there's a combination of Stamperia, their secret diary, and then there's a lot of 49 Market in here. And then there are the three digitals that I used. I don't remember their names, but y'all have seen them over and over. So that is the combination of papers in here. Very much a nature journal with nice muted soft tones. A little vellum. A rub on. A little flippy thing with sayings underneath them. And fold out. And this has a pocket. Store things in here. I just put a little card in here. And that's the end of the first signature. Second signature. This has something in it. What's in it? Tweezers. Ticket. It's hard to get hold of. Another ticket. Is that it? 2 tickets. And then just a journaling card. A lot of journaling space. These pull out. Just be interactive. You can put little hidden messages on the backs of them. A double pocket here. This one's kind of hidden. And then one behind. And a little pharmacy bag pocket. A little journaling cards in there. Another rub-on. Some avocado dyed paper. Deer with just some watercolor pencil, I think it was. In the center of that has some ferns. They're basically the same except different directions. And a little side tuck belly band type. And our zipper feature with a card journaling space, and then it just has a little decoration there. A lot of rub-ons. These are 49 market. Flip up. Another side of that pocket, same thing, couple little cards. These have stuff in them. What else I get in here? Just a couple little Stamperia cards in them. Another flip out. Journaling space. The dark ones, remember, you can write on with gel pens. Or a dark marker, I guess. So it could double as a bookmark. And that's the end of the second signature. And the third one. Journaling card. Our little waterfall feature. Some little critters on there. Pocket out of a paper bag. That's just on there, it doesn't open or anything. And this is another one of those double kind of hidden little pocket tucks. Journaling. Birdies. These are also 49 in market. A little magnifying glass that's interactive and moves. And just slide it up. It doesn't really magnify, but got little fingers to do it with there. It's just fun. Journaling space. Card. Some stencil work on that one. And just a flippy writing space. Other side of the paper bag. Pocket. Another pocket here with just some paper just to write on. It's just folded. And a couple of cards. And that is it. Okay, there's a pocket here to put stuff in. And that is our journal. And it's completely full. I think perfectly full. If it closes exact, you know, where it is just, you know, nicely square, I am happy. It's not gator mouthed or anything like that. And then I'll work on the journaling card. I'll take a picture or something to show you guys when I finish it, but not a journaling card, writing board. Writing board. So I'll put one in it off camera. That is it, guys. That is it for that journal. Hope you enjoyed it. It's our Wild and Muted. If you're interested in purchasing, let me know. And I don't know what we're doing next. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's either going to be a painting or a journal, I think. I don't have any more miniatures to do, so those are the choices. So if you guys want to see something, please let me know in a comment. I will try and do, you know, what y'all want to see. So take care. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I will see you guys on, we'll just say I'll see you guys next week. It's all going to depend on me figuring out what we're going to do. So I will just keep you posted and let you know whether it's going to be Monday or Wednesday or Friday. I'm probably going to go down to just 2 days a week, which will most likely be Wednesdays and Fridays and not Mondays. And then we'll see how it goes. All right. So y'all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.